Welcome to Tavern Tales Junior, a curated live play 5e Dungeons & Dragons podcast for kids and adults. In Tavern Tales Junior, we take a group of kids on a fantastical adventure full of friendship, adventure, and excitement, using a modified 5e rule set. This podcast is created by and for kids. This is meant to be relatable and enjoyable. So let's see where they want to take the adventure today.
I'm wondering if you'd go wandering with me through the wilderness and woods to where the winds are blowing free, through the darkness of the night, heading toward the morning light. I wonder if you'd wander with me, and I'll spread the word and you beat the drum. We'll round up the troops and get the gang to come, and we'll leave the streets and these neighborhoods, head over the river and through the woods.
It is race day in Tanjieca, and the entire city is celebrating. There are pennants and flags everywhere celebrating Tanjiecan independence from the great old empire. There is a parade to start, where all of the dinosaurs on the teams parade around the square to the cheers and exultations of the people who are spectating and witnessing this event, for it is a huge event. Anyone with 5 dinosaurs and 4 friends could enter this race, and if they win, they get a huge prize, the right to petition the council.
And if Tiger Claw tries to stop us from winning, he'll be shamed as a bad person, because if we win fair and square, he has no right to say we didn't.
This parade is an amazing parade. There are really crazy things that happen during the parade. Can you guys tell me some of the cool things that happen during the parade? We'll start with somebody who's not Robin this time. Even though you've got a great idea already, you can work on it in your mind. Yes, Alex.
They hand out yellow raspberries, which is a Tanjiecan specialty.
Oh, nice. Do they feed them to the dinosaurs, or do they just give them away to all the people spectating? Hold on, I was talking.
They'll give them to the riders and sometimes to the dinosaurs.
Oh, nice. Okay. You notice something, though, Chris, while you are moving along with your dinosaur in the parade. You see somebody who doesn't quite look right. Make an insight check.
11.
With your insight check, you realize that this person is working for Tiger Claw, and he is trying to feed the dinosaurs bad yellow raspberries that will give them some sort of medical problem. What's the medical problem? What'll happen to the dinosaurs?
It will make them weak, and they can hardly move, and it also gives them some food poisoning.
Oh, that's too bad. See, yeah, I was going to say it makes them poop nonstop, but I like yours better. That was much, much nicer for the ears to hear.
I was going to make them poop and pee nonstop.
Okay, yeah, we all know what you do. All right. So you see this guy doing that. What do you do to stop him? How do you get your friends to not have their dinosaurs fed?
I'm flying.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for these raspberries. They're very good. Here, Alyssa, you can have one of them.
So how does Chris stop? Because you're the only one who sees this. This guy is not right. He's feeding dinosaurs bad food.
Out of nowhere, I stop in front of him and I say, "Hey, you! Stop feeding them those berries.
Okay.
Stop sabotaging the racers."
All right, well, make an intimidation check. See if he actually...
18.
I rolled a 19. And so he goes... and he starts to he feeds another dinosaur the berries, and he goes to feed your dinosaur the berries.
Chris, why did you say that to him?
I've seen these berries. They're highly dangerous to riders and dinosaurs. He's trying to sabotage everybody.
What? Guys, let's just hurry along. Don't cover your dinosaurs' mouths. No, let no one eat those berries.
I am already doing it. Because I saw some type of purple berry somebody holding, but I didn't see the person.
Right. Did your dinosaur eat those berries? Well, that's
Because I covered his mouth too quick.
Excellent. Okay, so Chris stymies this guy from stopping feeding the berries. What's another awesome thing that's happening during this great parade? What is something that you think happens?
Most of the team's colors are like very like close to red.
Oh, really? So most of the other team's colors are red and other garish colors like that?
Because they're like very evil.
Oh,
There's
cool.
a bunch of evil.
Why don't you describe
And they
Tiger
cheat.
Claw's team's colors?
Red, purple, blue, white,
Okay.
and sometimes black.
So red and black, and then there's a blue and purple and white one. And those are the two teams that Tiger Claw has entered into the race. Because we remember that Tiger Claw has entered 2 different teams into the race, right?
And one of them is Taloof.
Who's got another descriptive thing to describe about the parade? Okay, Caitlin, what do you got?
Some of the flying dinosaurs
Yep.
are jumping up above the parade and like doing cool flips and stuff to get attention.
Wow, that's awesome. I like it. That's great. Yeah, I can see that in my mind's eye. These dinosaurs flipping and flying around as part of the parade. And are you part of that, Flash? Yeah. Describe something that you do, Flash.
So
with the flips.
my dinosaur does a back flip,
Wow.
a front flip,
Yeah.
and a cartwheel at the same
What?
time in the air.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Anybody else got amazing things that happened during the parade?
Bigger dinosaurs like Triceratops are making vibrations on the ground and like also making loud noises to also try and get attention.
And is DJ taking part in that too?
Yes.
Awesome. And do they all stomp and roar at the same time in like a beat and a rhythm fashion?
Yes. Like a bunch of them will first do it, and then like right when that is ending, a few of them will do it then.
Oh, neat. So it starts to build up in intensity as well, leading towards something dramatic as all of the dinosaurs make their way back to the square. And during the parade, what else happens?
At the end, there's a launch off.
A launch off of fireworks?
No, a launch off, but launches you into the race.
Okay, yeah, there's like a launch pad that they run and jump off of. Okay, that's cool.
But all the other dinosaurs have to wait till the other dinosaurs finish doing the
All right,
race.
perfect. And Alex, what do you got?
Around the edges of the square, there are a bunch of tabaxis dressed up in like dinosaur costumes playing instruments.
Oh, that's awesome. And they are a special band. They're a tabaxi band of dinosaur players. Does anybody have a really cool name for this band?
And those bands, and all their dinosaurs are green.
What's the name of the band?
Dinosaur Fire.
Dinosaur Fire.
The TLOOFers.
You're the TLOOFers. All of the dinosaurs lead up to the main square. There is probably hundreds of people gathered around the square on rooftops and looking at everything. And there are different spectating areas for the 5 different parts of the race all over the city that you can see in the distance. And right here is where the council and all the richest elite of Tanjieca have gathered in this special area right at the end of the race where it begins. And all of the dinosaur riders are told to mount up. How many different teams of dinosaur riders are there, Robin?
5?
I think there's more than 5 teams this year. How many teams are there?
30,000.
Ooh, that's way too many.
No, Dad, you said that when we were signing up, there was only 5 teams.
Yeah, she said it's sad there were only 5 teams this year.
5 teams. But so when you were told that there was 5 before, you're surprised to see there's actually 8 teams. Everyone is lined up and all of the teams are gathered in their groups of 5. It's very crowded in the square. And one of the teams, when the Triceratops does her part of the race, there is a Brachiosaurus in your part of the race. And there's a Velociraptor next to your Oviraptor for your part of the race. And for the Ankylosaurus is part of the race, there's a
Stegosaurus.
Oh, sure. There's a Stegosaurus as your combatant, and they look to be professional dinosaurs. These people are all on professional dinosaurs. What's a professional dinosaur? It's like being a professional human. And they're all professional humans. And they are all superstar elite athlete dinosaurs, and their colors are perfect, and they all have crazy, wonderful things. And the only thing that kind of illuminates your team is you all have the same green paint numbers and weird grass stains all over your team. And you guys, in your disparate colors, are all still wearing the Lord's Own cloaks.
Yep. They all look at us like, what the hell happened?
You're the what the heck team.
But there's this one group who is like, as soon as they see, because I want to say that they're like some of the people from the village that was destroyed by Tiger Claw. They see Sasha and Volpina and our team, and they're like,
Just something to say here. I mean, we're the team that has grass stains. Even if we didn't have grass stains or anything, I mean, are people going to go, it's Team Taloof? That name makes so much sense to us.
I know, but whatever. I want to say we wrote it out fully instead of just Taloof. So the Lords Own of FairHaven instead of just Taloof.
The short name of our team is Taloof.
Yes. What everyone calls when they're cheering it. They don't want to be like, the Lords Own of FairHaven.
They're going to be like, Taloof, Taloof, Taloof.
But all the other teams except us are evil.
So there are 7 other teams lined up, and an elderly lizard folk who seems to be a member of the council stands up just before a big announcement is about to be made by somebody, the master of ceremonies, and he announces and proclaims in a thin, reedy lizard folk voice, he says, "Attention! That grass-stained dinosaur team are all wanted criminals and cannot enter the race."
What?
And the crowds shout and yell, and you're not too sure, are they yelling for you or are they yelling for him? You're not too sure who's yelling on behalf. And Captain Cord Thunder steps up with her voice. She says, "You are out of order." What's the name of the lizard folk?
Mocklock.
Oh, that's a good name. Okay. She says, "You are out of order, Mucklock. Today is race day, and no charges can be carried out on criminals active in the city. You know that?" And he steps back. And Captain Cord Thunder says, and everybody cheers, and they're all excited. Oh, okay, maybe. And they're all excited. And everyone is excited that you guys are going to get to race. But Captain Cord Thunder says, "But one of these teams is illegally entered and cannot race today."
Which team?
And everyone looks around. And Captain Cord Thunder looks at you all very sadly. And she says, What's an evil team name, Caitlin? Just say an evil team name.
The Hive.
The Hive? Oh, okay. How about we add an adjective to the front of that, Robin? An alliterative adjective. Do you got any evil, terrible adjectives to add to the front of Hive?
I can only think of one. It's like, you don't owe... It's an X.
An X. Okay. Do you got one, Alex?
The Beastish Hive.
Beastish Hive. Oh, what's that? I don't know that word. What do you got?
The Hive Rulers.
The Hive Rollers?
Rulers!
The Hive Rulers? Oh, I like that. I've listened and I have my own idea, so I'm going to go with that. I think they should be called the Horrible Hive.
Ooh, the Horrible Hive.
And Captain Cord Thunder says, "The Horrible Hive?" And you all breathe a sigh of relief because she didn't say the TLOOFers. She says, "Are disqualified for not entering race properly and also being professional racers as not Tanjiecan way." And the team that is wearing black and red, the horrible professional athlete team that was controlled by Tiger Claw, is not the horrible hive. It's a different team, and they're taken off the race. So you're stuck, sadly, with this team of amazing-looking dinosaurs.
Is it Tiger Claw's second?
Looks like it was Tiger Claw's other team.
Yes! And they were the one with the blue, the purple, and the white, I think?
Sure. The race is about to begin. Everyone is standing at the starting line, and all of the racers are about to be sent off to their respective starting points for this relay race as the Master of Ceremonies gives this beautiful, wonderful speech about the race and about Tanjiecan life and about all of these things. And it takes half an hour of speechifying. And at the end of the speech, the person announces the race to begin with the National Anthem of Tanjieca, which goes like this.
From far and wide, join the riverside, through forest near and far. Gather as we speak of heroes who have brought this land to be.
Gather up your dinosaurs, heating up the TR. Dr. Fix's broken arm. Gather around your dinosaurs.
We love our yellow raspberries.
We are Tanjieca.
As we stand here, we shall sing in pride for Tanjieca. Truly.
Yeah, I love it.
The whole song sounded like the Canada song.
I'll be honest. The whole song sounds like a bunch of kids made it up.
Because we dance. A bunch of kids dip
kind of
it
like
Yep.
tune as Canada.
Because the Tanjiecan National Anthem was created by a bunch of kids in a very short amount of time. But everybody loves it because it's from the heart. And it talks about yellow raspberries, which, who doesn't love those?
They're so good. The poison ones, they taste exquisite too. But
And as you all move off to do your part of the race, it is all your turn to begin the race and do the race proper,
starting with
which we will do next game. No, I'm just kidding. We will do that right now. To get us back into this, I'm going to reread the Great Race rules. Once every 2 years, the Great Race happens throughout all of Tanjieca. It is a relay race between certain teams. It begins in the middle of the island as a ridden dash through tight streets and back alleys leading to the river's edge to the eastern side. And who is it that does that part of the race?
Volpina is doing that part of the race on riding on her Dimetrodon.
Perfect! How one gets across the river is up to the rider, but once they pass the baton to another team, that person races through the east side in what ends up being more of a battle royale than anything else. They race all the way to the bridge, and who will be passing the baton to the third person?
DJ will be passing the baton on her Triceratops Thunder.
Perfect. You pass the baton to who?
Sasha on her Ankylosaurus, named Alyssa Amberstar.
Ooh, you have a second name for that? That's cool. That person, Sasha, races across the bridge that really only supports certain dinosaur types, and it is an all-out sprint. The western part, through the Merchant District, is an obstacle course where many dinosaurs get injured and riders die. Once they get through the obstacle course, they pass on the baton. And who is it that does the obstacle course?
Chris Tuffer on his Oviraptor Ollie, who will hopefully be willing to jump over things.
Exactly.
We've had some trouble with that kind of stuff recently.
Who do you pass that baton on to?
Flash. And Flash has to go through the fire hoops, but under his dinosaur.
What are you riding, Flash?
Pterodactyl.
On your pterodactyl, you will navigate through a slalom series of floating rings of fire to get to the finish line to win. Each part of the race is going to be a single die roll with whatever skill set you want to try to use, and you can add to your total by coming up with an alliterative sentence to describe your part of the race using either the vowel sound or the consonant sound of the start of your dinosaur's type. The trumpet sounds, the race begins, and the first field of dinosaurs leaps into the fray as they cut through the back alleys on an ever-increasingly difficult journey. But our first racer practiced in the jungle, and as a result, she has advantage on her check, as she and her dinosaur have both the same brain, and they work in concert together very well. So what sort of skill would you like to roll to get through this course of tight alleys and back ways through Tanjieca's middle part of the city?
Animal handling.
Perfect. So now you may make your animal handling check with advantage. And take the higher die roll and add your animal handling to it. And what total do you come up with?
23.
23 is an exceptionally good roll. But would you like to make it better?
Yes.
All right. So if you'd like to make it better, you may read to me your descriptive sentence, which will add points for each alliterative word you use for your dinosaur's name. Go for it.
The dazzling Dimetrodon dashed daringly down the dark alley.
Wow. I counted 6 D words. Was I right?
Yes.
Perfect. You know, I think you could have inserted your dinosaur's name in there too. What's your dinosaur's name?
Dawn.
And what does Dawn like to eat? Remember the treats that you guys fed your dinosaurs?
No.
If you don't remember, that's fine. So we will add your 6 points to your 23 total, giving you a total of
29.
29 is almost good enough. As Caitlin's dinosaur dashes across the finish line, passing the baton on to the second racer, you realize you are in 4th place overall. What skill does DJ use in the process of your part of the race?
Athletics.
Ooh, what sort of bonus do you have for athletics?
7.
Whoa, okay. So roll the die. Now, I believe that you told me that you... Oh, I didn't write it down. What was the thing that you decided to do during the day of prep that you had? What was the choice that you made?
I found someone that was either really good with dinosaurs or a trainer to help me understand thunder.
And that person helped you a whole lot. So as a result, you may have advantage on your athletics check as you haul your dinosaur through the east side in the battle royale.
23.
23 again. Now give me your wonderfully alliterative sentence.
As my Triceratops charges towards the opponent, he tastes the terror in the air. Because of his name, thunder sounds fill the air.
Wow. So I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 T words in that. Is that right?
Let me count.
All right. While you count that up, I will tell you that your 30 has moved you ahead to 3rd place overall. However, the first place team has got a huge lead at this point. They are way out front and have already passed the baton on to the 4th person.
I'm never gonna
right
do this
now.
right.
So, you pass the baton on to the 3rd person. Who's the 3rd person?
Sasha?
This is the race across the bridge, and you have chosen an Ankylosaurus, not a swift, fast runner, but instead a steady, quick, long run animal. And as a result, you might beat some of the racers.
I have durability.
Who trail off at the end of the race. What skill is Sasha using in the race?
Stealth.
Stealth? Wow. All right.
I have a good reason.
Super interesting.
I'm stealthily dodging all of the other.
That might be more like an
dinosaurs.
acrobatics thing, don't you think?
Ah,
But that's fine by me. You may use stealth. What is your bonus to stealth?
7.
7. What's your bonus to acrobatics?
4.
Okay, then definitely 7 it is.
Okay, let's do this.
What did you choose to do, as I believe you mentioned that you had treats set aside for your dinosaur during the race?
Yes.
So you will use those to your best of your ability, and as a result
to give her more interest.
So you have used these treats to help your dinosaur along the race. Why did you pick these treats?
On the package, they said that they had a lot of protein and a lot of and they were more hyper.
Perfect. And this is a long haul race, so it's a good idea that you have them. You may have advantage on your check as well. Roll it up. And what did you get for your total?
A 9 and a 9.
Oh.
Plus 7. So that's 16.
Go for it. Give me your alliterative sentence to help add to this whole thing.
The baton is abruptly passed to an aqua tabaxi magic user who jumps onto an aqua and amber ankylosaurus named Alyssa Amberstar. The ankylosaurus aerodynamically arises around and above several other apatosauruses, albertosauruses, albertoceratopses, and averaceratopses. The aqua and amber scales alight. When the ankylosaurus lands, the aqua tabaxi glides off the ankylosaurus and gives the baton to an overjoyed dark elf. The aqua tabaxi then steps back to the aqua and amber ankylosaurus and gives it an apple, an apricot, and an avocado, while the overjoyed dark elf rides into the distance on an orange oviraptor.
I counted 22 A words in that reading.
I need to count. 1, 2.
But they have to be different. So it's 22 different A words in that. And as a result, 22 plus 16 gives me a total of 38. And that has moved your team into second place. And you have made up a great deal of time, for while many of these other dinosaurs are great short distance runners in your group, many of them fail out and fade over the last half a mile, where your Ankylosaurus's steady rhythm and speed moves along. And you have managed with your stealth skill to hide behind a larger, smoother running Dimetrodon, and you have stayed in that person's shadow over the entirety of the bridge race. And as a result, at the very last second, you plow ahead of them, taking second place. And unfortunately, the last team is almost ready to pass the baton to the 5th person, the flyer.
It's all right.
I will point out that team is the professional, athletic-looking team of Tiger Claw.
Of course it is.
The baton has been passed to Chris. He stands ready to mount his Oviraptor. Tell me what you're riding and what skill you're going to use.
I am going to use my acrobatics skill to help Ollie, the Oviraptor, dodge and weave around the obstacles.
It's a tough course. There are rope nets that you have to climb, and there are many large walls that you'll have to surmount. So I think acrobatics is a great skill to help your dinosaur get the way through. Now, I also note that you told me about having a bunch of treats ready for the dinosaurs after the race. Is that right?
Yup.
And as a result, your Oviraptor is beyond excited about the delicious treat of fresh meat you will have ready for him at the end of the race. So why don't you roll with advantage and tell me what you got?
He went to the most high class butcher to get that meat.
23.
I think everybody needs to get a 23 who's not Robin, eh? Everybody else got one. So with your 23, give me your sentence so that we can add to your total result. I hope you have a bunch.
I failed in a roll, but I made it up with my words.
Ollie the olive orange speckled Oviraptor is oddly omnivorous and overly obedient.
I counted 8 in that, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then your total of 31 has narrowed the gap just enough that when you get the baton to the last member of the race, this super powerful team belonging to Tiger Claw is only 1/3 of the way through the flaming hoops when the baton is passed to...
Buddy Boo, you gotta do this.
I know.
All right, describe who you are and what you're riding.
I am Flash, and I am riding a pterodactyl.
And a pterodactyl, what letter starts the word pterodactyl?
T.
I don't think so, buddy. What letter starts the word pterodactyl?
Oh, P.
P, that's right. And Will, you are pretty young. You're only 6.5, and you just finished grade 1. And so we're going to give you a little bit of help on this challenge. Everyone at the table can offer a P or T word if you run out and you're having trouble with the list that you put together yourself, okay? Because I think that you deserve 2 letters because pterodactyl is a crazy word to try to come up with. So you may use both P and T letters, no matter what. So you get to use P's and T's, Will, in your description.
Yay!
What skill is Flash going to use on his pterodactyl?
2 skills better 100. I wrote them down.
Yeah, I know you did. But what's one of the ones that's normal skill for you that you get to add to?
Athletics.
That makes good sense.
Because you have to go inside of the fire hoops.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, then you're going to ride your pterodactyl. And you came up with the most wonderful of everyone's ideas. You talked about something you needed to get the day before the race. What was that?
I needed to get handlebars, but I can stick to dinosaurs and they can't feel anything.
Yeah, you were talking about getting sticky substances and tighter leather straps for your dinosaur, right? I thought that was brilliant. So you may have advantage on the check and take the highest.
4 and 18.
So only one of those is a good roll. And an 18 plus 6 is what?
24.
24. You're the best roller so far. Now becomes the difficult part, because I will tell you this, Wilfred Dean. You need to get, as a result of everyone else's lower numbers and placing in the race, you need to get a 35 total in order to win the race. That means you need to give me 11 P or T words that you use to describe your part of the race. Are you ready?
Yeah, they're right over there.
Use the words that you have and describe for me the part of the race. You ready?
Flash climbs onto his pterodactyl. Terry tears through the fire hoops. She is a pterodactyl. She's a terror. And she has 3 claws on each end. Tornadoes spout through the fire hoops, but they're just toy ones. So she throws them out into the ocean.
Okay, she throws out toy tornadoes. I love it. That's great.
And
Keep going.
She goes past the teal and the turquoise pteranodon. And then she goes past the titanium wall.
There's a titanium wall. Okay, keep going.
TLOOFers go past Chris's friend, but was here later on. And then Christopher is watching us. TLOOFer goes through and fly.
Do you need anybody to give you some more help? All right, point to someone and they can give you some help.
I want to do all three of you.
I can do all four. Caitlin can come up with one at the end. She's good at P and T words.
1, 2, 3, 4,
all right, so
5.
you point to somebody, and they'll say a part of a sentence and add some letters.
The TLOOFers' flying companion is truly powerful.
In power and pride, he flies through the sky.
Is a true terror to the other racers.
Teams are painfully trodden as Flash and Terry tear across the race.
Excellent. That was a lot of T words from Will, especially just to begin with. That was really great. Was it enough to end and to pass into first place and to beat the other team owned by Tiger Claw? Well, twisting and turning tightly through the hoops, Terry plows before the opponents with her powerful strokes and thrusts of her magnificent teal and turquoise wings. The finish line looms ahead, where all of the other teammates have gathered to await the final rush of feather and flight as all of these flying animals twist and turn through the hoops. But Terry has an advantage, because Terry has heard the loud "Kara!" which sounds off in the jungle as a mighty mega pterosaur lurches out of the jungle and flies into the race, attacking not Terry, but other pterodactyls and tyrannotons and Archaeopteryxes that are flying through the race, and it disrupts the entire event. There is a rider on the mega pterosaur. It is not Tiger Claw.
But
It is someone you've never seen before and looks to be human, perhaps? A human woman, maybe, but they're wearing armor, thick leather armor, and wearing a helmet. You don't really know who this person might be. And while all of the players are now going red and holding their hands to their faces, I will let you all know very clearly it is not Flash's mom.
oh damn, oh, man.
I know all of you immediately went there, and maybe the listeners were going there too. That is not my intent.
You're horrible. It could have been his mom, and he could have wished for her to come back.
By the way, Flash has a sister.
That's good. This is not his sister either, I don't think. So, this mega pterosaur interrupts the race, but it doesn't faze Terry because she's heard the mega pterosaur's cry before, and Flash was not concerned or sad or scared when he counseled and helped Terry along, and as a result, just before the end of the race, it looks like that Flash was going to lose it, but you've made so much ground and time as you went through the race that as the Karok sounds in the distance, the dinosaur that it was in the lead holds up and flutters in alarm with its head shaking back and forth, and Flash and Terry fly through the finish line, and you win the race!
You know what I think this needs? I think this needs a Lords Own cheer.
The Lords Own FairHaven!
With that, as the crowds cheer and everyone is super excited and treats are fed to final animals, and number 4 in the race and number 3 in the race make their way to the center where all of the race began, where Volpina and where Chris are waiting. Everyone gathers together and they all cheer and celebrate as a trophy is passed down. But what happens next, and what Tiger Claw does when he sees that his team has not won and now he is subject to the request made by the TLOOFers? We'll have to find out.
Next game.
Dun dun dun! D&D.
Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
D&D.
You're wondering if I go wandering with you? What kind of trouble we'll get ourselves into? Would it be wrong to tag along with a band of vagabonds? You wonder if I'd wander with you. So I'll spread the word and you beat the drum. We'll round up the troops and get the gang to come, and we'll leave the streets.
This concludes this episode of Tavern Tales Junior. We'll be back in 1 month with a brand new episode. Our intro and outro music is Through the Woods by Okie Dokie Brothers. Find their music on iTunes by checking them out at www.okiedokie.org and follow them on Twitter at Okie Dokie Bros. Leave love a review on iTunes. Check us out on Twitter at Tavern_Tales. See you all later.
I'm wondering if you'd come wandering my way. If you ever get lost, or if the trail leads you astray, the music of the pack can always bring you back. I wonder, can we wander away? And I'll spread the word and you beat the drum. We'll round up the troops and get the gang to come, and we'll leave the streets in these neighborhoods, head over the river